Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless have officially gone their separate ways. They joined a long list of top-tier duos that broke up in spite of their success. But why though? Why are there so many superstar duos we've seen crash and burn despite having so much potential and talent? Maybe Skip and Shannon can give us an answer as to why.
Let's do this.
Undisputed debuted in September of 2016 featuring both stars. It didn't take long for the two to develop chemistry that would lead to some of the funniest sports talk television content to date. The two gave rise to one of the most popular sports debate shows on morning television, second to only First Take, Bayless's former show with ESPN. While never formally overtaking First Take in ratings and viewership, there was a level of charisma and sportsmanship the two shared when on air with one another.
We can eat right.
Yeah.
Was that diet?
That's a diet.
Yeah, good for
Why
you
ain't turned me on to this earlier?
Well, because you lose it, you never win it. You've never had any.
Oh, boy.
That stuff is.
Yeah.
It'll get you going.
Yo, Spider, Spider must have had like 2 or 3 of these.
Yeah.
Y'all in trouble.
They did lead to some fans preferring the newer show helmed by the duo, in part due to the bombastic personalities and backgrounds.
There was no Kawhi anywhere to be found at Staples. And I'm done with him, and I'm done with the Clippers, and I'm done with you. And all of your gloating.
Bayless was a journalist best known for his debating prowess on First Take, where he sat opposite a former co-star Stephen A. Smith. He was one of the pillars that transformed morning sports TV and general sports conversation. Sharpe is known for his storied NFL career, which includes 3 Super Bowl titles, 4-time All-Pro player, 8-time Pro Bowler, and a Hall of Famer. It was a great blend of perspectives, with Sharpe being the proven athlete who could speak on topics with on-field experience. Then Bayless could provide the perspective of the media and fans alike who may not have participated, but nonetheless had their own views on the same topics. It regularly gave a voice to the two sides who are arguably the loudest when it comes to discussing sports. Naturally, with success came great highs, but also resounding lows. The duo's 7-year run features some of the best and worst conversations in sports. Unfortunately, at their worst, the conversations delved into disagreements that got personal on more than one occasion.
The Commanders, New York Giants, and it did what it needed to do. Now those 2 drives, and you were still behind. And yeah, come on, Skip, don't do that now. You're being real petty, bro. Let me talk. Let me
haven't
talk.
said a word.
I know you're doing them. Come on, that's childish. Your team
Childish?
lost. That is very childish. Let me talk.
Your
You wanna
opinion
talk?
is childish.
Go ahead.
Go.
2 of the most notable occurrences happened in the last year. First, it was a debate discussing Tom Brady. The two were going back and forth discussing Brady's performance in a blowout loss to the 49ers. Unfortunately, the debate took a turn for the worse when Bayless insinuated there was jealousy informing Sharpe's opinion.
That's just, you have no objectivity. It's just straight Brady hate. Wait a minute. This is just straight hate by a guy who's jealous that he is still playing at a high level at 45 when you had to stop at 35.
Skip, that's what you do.
That's the point.
That's what you do. Every time I call something into question, I'm jealous.
No.
Skip, I did what I did.
I never said you were jealous of Baker Mayfield.
Skip, I did what I did. You make it seem like I was a bum. I'm in the effing Hall of Fame.
Okay,
I got 3 Super Bowls.
So what?
So what?
He's way better than you were.
I'm better than you.
Better.
Skip, what did I got to see what you do? You take personal shots.
No,
for
I don't take personal shots. You started it.
Time out. You would take a personal shot at me.
I didn't take a personal
time
shot
out.
at you.
Wait a minute.
What are you talking about?
You would take a personal.
Put your glasses back on.
Can I finish? You're willing to take a personal shot at me to say this man is better than me because I say he's playing bad this year?
Well, because you just
Go ahead.
you disrespect him. It's just so. You know what? It's beneath your
you would
dignity.
disrespect me to support him.
No, well, I'll support him over anybody because he's the greatest player who ever played your game, and it's by far.
Have at it.
Okay,
Take off,
I'm going to have at it because I'm going to have at you because what happened yesterday?
The moment definitely incited much discussion on social media, with many feeling Bayless was out of line. Sharpe spoke on the incident himself, citing that it took much restraint to not put his hands on Bayless in the moment.
But to try to, oh, you were nothing and you're jealous of Tom Brady. Why? Why would I be jealous of Tom Brady? I'm happy that Tom was like me, given an opportunity. He made the most of that opportunity. I think that was, in all of my TV career, that probably was I remember going home, calling my sister. I called my brother. My homeboy has everybody had told him, and he had raced home. He'd watch it. It took a lot. It took a lot for me not to put my hands on him. It actually did.
In fairness, Sharpe took responsibility for not drawing a line sooner, particularly when it came to the prior personal shots that led up to that moment.
How much trouble was the relationship between you two in at that particular moment?
There were a lot of that is my fault, because there were times that led up to that I felt that shots were taken and I let it go. And I should have said something then, but I didn't. And I would bring it to people's attention and they brushed it up under the rug. So that was my fault that it got to that point, and he felt that he could go over the top in that situation.
The second situation was Damar Hamlin's unfortunate cardiac arrest during a live NFL game that shocked the entire sports world. It was a sensitive moment where players and fans alike came together to express their concern for the health of Hamlin. Bayless did as well, initially stating that he was praying for the health of Hamlin and his family. However, Bayless was also the main outlier who spoke on the notion of the NFL postponing the game due to the incident. Let's just say that didn't go over well. The incident incited mass backlash from players across the NFL and the NBA, as well as fans on social media. Despite all the public backlash, no one seemed more upset with Bayless than his own co-host and Shannon Sharpe, who elected to not even show up for the following Undisputed episode after that incident. Bayless then apologized for his remarks both on Twitter and on that same Undisputed episode. In Bayless's mind, that had cleared the matter in a way where the tweet would no longer even be brought up. However, upon Shannon Sharpe's return discussing the incident, the tweet was brought up. Again, let's just say that didn't go over well.
Watching that game on Monday night, what happened to Damar Hamlin struck me a little different. As a brotherhood in the NFL, when injuries happen, when we know injuries are a part of the game, I've seen guys suffer ACLs and Achilles tear, but I've never seen anybody have to be revived and fight for their life on the field. So it struck me a little differently, because I remember seeing my brother paralyzed on the field temporarily, and he was able to regain focus. Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down, but I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down, because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me finish.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Go ahead, let's go, Jen.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting me.
Well,
you could have came back. Skip,
well, I thought,
Skip, just let.
I didn't know you were going to bring up this.
I was just going to say, Skip, I didn't want to yesterday to get into a situation where Damar Hamlin was the issue. We should have been talking about him and not get into your tweet. That's what I was going to do. But you can't even let me finish my opening monologue without you interrupting.
Okay. I was under the impression you weren't going to bring this up because nobody here had a problem with that tweet.
No. Clearly, the bosses wanted you to offer explanations, so clearly somebody.
No, they did not have. Nobody.
Let's go, Jen.
Thoughts and prayers remain with Damar Hamlin.
That's where the focus should have been, and not on the football game. Yes, let's go, Jen. Thank you.
The incident was one of the biggest signs of an established rift between the two and a dynamic that was not made to last. Bayless and Sharpe had gone into heated debates before. However, these incidents seem to cross a line from a personal standpoint. Respect between each other is of utmost importance when you have two high-profile personalities expected to coexist, let alone debate each other for hours. Sharpe said as much on a recent episode of his Club Shay Shay podcast with Stephen A. Smith as a guest.
Two people that strong-will can absolutely get along.
That's right.
As long as there's respect.
Absolutely.
The moment one disrespects the other loses respect for the one that disrespected him.
Right.
So now it's just a matter of time.
Exactly.
The deterioration of Bayless and Sharpe's partnership is similar to many we see in the sports world, whether it be Penny Hardaway and Shaquille O'Neal, or even Shaq and Kobe Bryant. Some of the most talented and successful duos have split up due to ego and disrespect. It's odd because it seems as though the more talented each individual is in said duo, the more likely a split will eventually happen. When there's a clear 1 and 2, these type of splits rarely happen. Think about Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Magic Johnson. Even Steph Curry and Klay Thompson or Draymond Green. However, in instances when the other guy could be arguably just as successful individually, it normally has not lasted. Like Sharpe noted, respect has to be of utmost importance for these dynamics to work, even in the face of media pressure trying to create a rift when there is not one. Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown being a great example of this. Despite great success on their time together, the media has consistently pushed the narrative to drive them apart. In spite of that, both have said on multiple occasions how much they enjoy playing together. The respect they have for one another and the desire to figure it out drowns out any potential drama from the media. We are also seeing that in the early days of the partnership between Smith and Sharpe on First Take. It is a form of chemistry that has led to more success for First Take 6 times that of Undisputed since Sharpe's departure. As we do with many other sports duos, we will look back on this partnership with fond memories, wondering why the run did not last longer. In actuality, most of these duos do break up at the right time. Once that relationship is damaged for one reason or another, the only thing that can help mend it is time apart. Maybe in 10 years, we will get a sit down with both Bayless and Sharpe explaining what they both regret in that situation. Although, judging by their ages, I'd sooner expect we get a sit down between Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant. Just saying.
I'll never forget what you did for me. You've helped me grow more than you ever know.
Okay, this is not easy for me either. But
One more thing before you go, Skip.
Okay.
One more thing. All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow at night, know I gave you everything I had.
You did.
I gave you everything I had.
Which is why I want to thank you for all you have given to me.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning into this video. Of course, if you enjoyed it, go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure you guys also subscribe down below, and make sure you hit the post notification bell so you don't miss when any future videos are dropped from the channel. Let me know what you guys think about the official Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe breaking up, parting their ways, and the new duo being in Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharpe, and then Skip Bayless having his own somewhat of a trio with him and Richard Sherman, as well as Michael Irvin and Keyshawn Johnson over on Undisputed. Let me know what you guys think of that. I think Richard Sherman is his official partner, but I think that they're having a rotation of guys that come in depending on whatever the sports season is. But I want to hear you guys' thoughts. What do you guys think about how the relationship between Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless deteriorated over the years, as well as what kind of reflection do you think that applies in terms of looking at other sports duos? I definitely want to see some of that conversation down in the comments below. Guys, until next time, thanks for tuning into this video. I'm out.
You've never had any.
Oh, boy!